Hi there, welcome to I Lone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Aquarius Energy. We're going to get out 3 or 4 of these size tarot, and then we're going to get clarifiers on top of them to fill out the story of what might be going on in Aquarius Energy. And keep in mind, we all tap into Aquarius Energy, and it's just how we use it. Are we willing to see things from the bigger picture? Are we willing to step out of societal norms to bring about change in our life? Because we're coming from an energy of love and hope and faith, or are we kind of thinking outside the box? Maybe in order to bring about change because we're maybe selfish and greedy, or coming from fear or insecurity. You know, Seven of Pentacles is the reason for the reason for the reading, which Seven of Pentacles is about. You know, are we someone who's just focused on working with what the world has to give us, and we don't believe in anything higher or to work with? Are we someone who's not willing to put in work and effort to follow and believe in our dreams? So, people harnessing positive Aquarius energy are willing to move forward in their life. They've learned the lessons, or they're learning the lessons they were meant to learn, and they believe that their dreams are going to come into reality. And they're working from an emotional foundation of hopes and dreams and wishes, and in touch with their intuition. And they're putting in positive Capricorn work, willing to put in the hard work and effort to free themselves from fear, insecurity, self-limiting beliefs, whatever it is, because they want to keep moving forward, and they know they have to consider what they invest in, because we reap what we sow. Some people haven't learned that lesson, and they think they can just do whatever they want, and they think their dreams are going to come into reality by working with the third energy, which is like their shadow side. Maybe working with the third party Capricorn, working emotionally with the world, that if they just very worldly focus, Seven of Pentacles is, I'm going to work with what the world provides me with. I think I can have a lot of victory and success doing that. And so the Capricorn Devil card can mean it's all about the world. And if I work emotionally with the world, that will make my dreams come into reality. Some people might be in a third party situation with either a Capricorn or someone who represents what they desire in a worldly sense. Working together with someone because that person will fulfill their need to fulfill their ego, to fulfill their pride, to look like they're successful and victorious according to worldly standards. Capricorn energy is about, in just a 3D sense, is about putting in the hard work and effort to build a legacy in our life. It's earth sign energy, so it is about the 3D world. But positive Capricorn energy also includes the aspect of freeing ourselves from what restricts us, and that is our fear, our insecurity, our pride, our ego, money, image, status, wealth. If those things, you know, sometimes we can work to have success and stability in our life, but if we get too caught up, you know, that our image becomes more important to us than following our own unique life path, our own dreams, our own wishes. And Aquarius energy is about following our dreams and our wishes. Some people get too caught up in worldliness that they put their dreams to the side. Their image, their status, money, and wealth become more important to them than following their own dreams. So, some people have hope, faith, and belief. Their dreams will come into reality. They're trusting the divine. They're working from an emotional foundation and putting in the hard work and effort into what they're trying to invest in. And that, in Aquarius energy, would be their wishes and dreams, having hope, faith, and belief there can be healing in situations. But they keep trusting the universe and keep moving forward. And the bottom of the clarifier deck is the Wheel of Fortune. You know, whatever decision we make, whatever we choose to invest in, it's like the Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Karma. you know, the wheel will turn depending on what kind of decision we make. So let's read the people who are in positive Aquarius energy, and keep in mind we all tap into Aquarius energy. So the positive people, oh, look at all the wands we have here. They're using their fire energy, which fire energy is our Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius energy, in a creative, positive way, an inspired way. It's to go for our wishes and our dreams. It's based on our wants and dreams and desires. So those people have a creative, inspired, youthful nature to take bold, confident action in their life and take swift action forward in order to see their dreams come into reality. And we go from 8 of Wands to 3 of Wands. One of the things they're doing is they're letting go of 5 of Wands. And 5 of Wands is our inner conflict about moving forward, our competitive nature, maybe with the 3D world that, we can be so competitive, feeling we need to compete with people in the 3D world that, these people who are following their hopes and dreams are letting that go. It's like, I don't have to compete with the 3D world. All I have to do is keep focused on my dream, keep having hope and faith and belief, keep taking bold, confident action in my life, work from an emotional foundation where in the High Priestess, you are listening to your intuition. And maybe for one, the 4 of Pentacles, it could be that's the core foundation that you're holding on to, is working from this emotional foundation, listening to your intuition, and taking the lessons that you've learned from your past life experience. Take the lesson and move forward. Unless we learn the lessons we were meant to learn from the past, about what is your value, what is your wish, what is your dream, what do you think life is about? Were you in relationships with people? Were you working together previously with people who were hiding that they're selfish, that they're greedy, that they're unwilling to open up, that they are clinging to an old foundation that they're unwilling to let go of? If so, take the lesson of having learned that. Keep moving forward. Add those lessons to your foundation. You'll be stronger, more stable, less naive than you were before. Keep listening to your intuition. And, next time you'll have better senses about people maybe who are selfish and greedy and still clinging to an old foundation and unwilling to move forward. Keep putting in the hard work and effort. Keep dreaming of your future. And in the 5 of Pentacles, it can talk about separating yourself from old foundations. If you had been working together with people emotionally before who, when they dreamed of their future, it was always of their past, that it was always just going to be a repeat pattern of the past because they maybe have fear, insecurity about moving forward or seeing themselves or life differently. For them, it might, the devil can be about fear. I don't dare move forward, because they could have fear about dreaming of life being different and following their dreams, because that means they would have to separate from an old foundation. Maybe that foundation is worldliness. Maybe there's someone who's very attached to, well, I've always lived my life presenting myself as a certain type of person, wanting the world to approve of me. I want to have a certain image. I want to have a certain status. I want to have a certain reputation. And, mentally to detach from no longer giving so much concern to your image, your status, your reputation, because you're following your dreams. Some people really have a hard time with that. Needless, when you detach from any former foundation, it's difficult. It's, you go through a period of feeling a little left out in the cold. We can feel attached to our old foundations. Maybe people drive and don't realize, like, oh, wow, I derive a lot of sense of self from that foundation instead of finding my sense of self from within myself and my own approval of myself, my own acceptance of myself, of my own value. And some people, the devil card can talk about being codependent on other people, codependent on what other people think of you, other people deeming that what you do has value and worth. The devil card can talk about conformity. You know, some foundations want you to conform in this hive mind, groupthink way of being, and they don't want you to step out on your own, because if you detach from a foundational way of being and you live your own unique individual life, you become independent. You know, it's very comfortable to be part of a group or a foundation where it feels like everyone is approving of you and, you know, agreeing with your decisions. And if you're going to go out on your own, you have to be more independent. And Aquarius energy is all about being unique, eccentric, individual. Aquarius is our air sign energy of the mind, where we're willing to think outside the box, stepping outside of societal norms. Some people could think that is toxic. And in their mind, it is toxic to be left out in the cold from the world, or how the world views things, or what the world values, or what that particular foundation says is right or wrong or acceptable or not acceptable. To step outside of the box in Aquarius energy from that foundation, that could bring up a whole bunch of fear for some people. And they are not willing to do it. They turn their back on separating from that foundation. They will choose that foundation, even if that foundation basically strangles them, causes them a lot of fear, a lot of insecurity, a lot of makes them feel very codependent, makes them feel toxic, because they might long to separate from that foundation, but if their fear or their self-limiting beliefs or their codependency holds them in it, it keeps them in a toxic loop, because we should all deserve to live our own unique, independent life. We should all be able to follow our soul's calling, to follow our dreams and our visions, and pursue those things that we find valuable in the world, not what a foundation that we belong to deems as valuable. I mean, you could say, you know, you could be in a family of lawyers and doctors, and the fact that you want to be an artist or a painter is just like, oh my gosh, you're going to have a cow. Or you could be in a family of people who are artists and painters, and you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, and they're like, oh my gosh, you know. Some people aren't just willing to follow their dreams. They're still held back by fear and insecurity. So for the people who, there could be some people right now waiting for their dreams to come into reality. And people also who are kind of operating more from fear and insecurity, a lot of times they won't take those steps that they need to take. They're kind of waiting for other people to take action towards them. So there could be some people right now, kind of in a little bit of shadowy Aquarius energy, who are waiting for their dreams to come to them. You know, we either take bold, confident action, or we're waiting for people to take action towards us. Some people right now could be waiting for someone from their past to communicate with them and tell them they're willing to move forward with them in order for their dreams to come into reality. Those people in the Three of Cups can talk about reuniting. So there might be someone that they're waiting to have communicate with them, that they want to reunite with and work with emotionally. They could be hiding the fact that they're holding on to that foundation. They're waiting for this person to come towards them to reunite with them. They're waiting for this other person to make them a financial offer. They could be waiting to reunite with a Capricorn, or someone who, again, harnesses that, whatever that worldly foundation that this person wants to be a part of. But they're waiting for this person to make them, it's not a love offer, it's a offer of stability or security or resources of some kind. For some of those people, they could be waiting. Well, for some, they're waiting for someone who's kind of in shadowy energy, who maybe believes like they do that I don't want to step out of societal norms either. I want to make it all about money and image and status in the 3D world. Um, for some of them, they're waiting for this person to reunite with them so that they can move forward with their worldly plan. And their worldly plan, sadly for some of them, if this person kind of has a lack mentality, they don't believe they have the resources or the faith or the hope or the resources to think outside the box and follow their dreams. They're hoping someone will come to reunite with them, and that together maybe they can both be people who don't follow their dreams, and that they together will be Seven of Pentacles people who's like, okay, well, let's move forward and let's work with what the world offers us, and we won't think outside the box, and we'll just hope that by doing that things will go in our favor and we can move forward with our long-term stable earthly Virgo based plan, maybe in a little bit of a shadowy sense of looking victorious according to worldly standards, and we can put an end to like this waiting. Let's reunite. Now, the person that this person is waiting for, they might be waiting for someone who, if this person operates from fear and insecurity, they could be hoping that anyone else who they used to work with in their life, if those people before were in positive Aquarius energy, they were moving forward, they were putting in the work and effort, they separated. For some of them, they're hoping that those people now have paused to consider what they're investing in. And they're hoping that those people are like, oh gosh, it's difficult to move forward in your life. They're hoping these people will be like, I don't know. Do I want to keep moving forward in my positive Aquarius energy and following my dreams? Maybe I should just go back and communicate to this person of my past. And that person's just sitting there waiting for somebody to come talk to them. And they'll say, oh, perfect. You've decided you want to stay inside the box with me. You have fear and insecurity about moving forward. Perfect. Me too. Let's reunite. Let's hide the fact that we feel a little desperate and we're still clinging to an old foundational way of being. Maybe you're willing to be in a relationship with this person who might prefer to be, maybe the foundation they cling to is triangulated type relationships where they can be passive aggressive, they can be emotionally manipulative. King of Wands can be somebody, male or female, who's kind of forceful and controlling. They maybe use their sexuality in relationships. And we'll just reunite and hide the fact that, I was stubborn, that the King of Wands was stubborn, that the King of Wands was prideful, that, just ignore that. Let's get back in a relationship. And we'll just continue like we were before you walked away from me. We'll go back to the dream that we had of it's all about the 3D world, putting in work and effort for our stability, our security, and we'll both feel in lack. And we'll just work with what the world gives us, not following our hopes and dreams. And for some of you, you're like, well, they can sit there all they want. Whoever that person is in your past is like, I am listening to my intuition. And you are holding back from reuniting with that person because you know that the universe wants you to grow and learn and expand. So you're putting in the hard work and effort to listen to your dreams, to keep moving forward. And as you do that, the energies will shift for you. You have hope and faith and belief that the universe is, wants us all to follow our hopes and dreams and wishes, to put in the work and effort, to come from an emotional foundation where we have hope and faith. And you believe that as you do this, that the energies for you will shift and that you'll be able to move forward with your long-term stable plan to rise above any inner conflict you have, any competitive energy that you have, to feel victorious, proud of yourself. And you will close out a chapter, this old chapter in your life, because you've learned the lessons you were meant to learn. And you want to move forward working together with people from an emotional foundation where people are willing to learn and grow and expand, to be a student of life, where people use their resources to work through. The Pentacle talks about using our time, energy, and resources to work through our stress and our anxiety that we have about following our dreams, of being independent, to living our unique life on this soul's journey. And people who are willing to defend the creative, inspired victory that they've had in their life because they want to not let their stress and insecurities about taking creative, inspired action cause them to self-sabotage themselves. And you don't want people in your life who are going to backstab and betray you. And maybe some of these people that you are separating from were like to be in triangulated relationships where they're toxic, maybe where they're controlling, where they have addictions, where they stay in their fear, their insecurity, operate from pride and ego. And you don't want to be with people like that. It backstabs you because they backstab themselves. We either create our life on love or we don't. And people who are coming from shadow energy are trying to build their life on fear, insecurity, selfishness, greed, lust, laziness, not wanting to put in the work and effort to follow their dreams. If the person you were working with and their Devil Capricorn energy limited their emotional investment to money and materialism, and their Taurus energy, you don't want to be in relationships with people like that. You're going to put an end to being in relationships with people like that. You want to be in relationships who hold this energy in a positive way, who know their worth and value, who know that they were given unique talents, skills, and interests that they can build long-term stability and success upon if they appreciate those traits within themselves, if they emotionally know their worth and value, who've overcome their fear, their insecurity, their pride, their ego by nurturing themselves, offering themselves love and compassion, forgiveness, so they get over their fear, their self-limiting beliefs, and who are ready to give birth to a new life in the Empress energy, who are willing to get themselves in the driver's seat of their own life, get themselves emotionally balanced from the energy of love, Cancer, water sign energy, who've offset their fears and their insecurities with love and hope and faith, and they're ready to give birth to a new life. Those are the type of people you want in your life. These other people who are kind of in shadowy Aquarius energy, and shadowy Aquarius energy is not making decisions that are the best for everyone. It's making decisions that are just best for yourself. This person may be very selfish, may be very greedy. They want things to move forward because they have a long-term plan of looking victorious. They were willing to maybe let positive relationships end because this third party that they're waiting for offered them a new financial beginning. And, in the 3D world, that would make them look very successful. So they are maybe they might be really stressed because they keep defending this relationship, maybe with this third party Capricorn or this third party who had made an offer to them before to have what it was that they wanted in the 3D world. And they might be defending that relationship. They could have betrayed someone else in their life who was loving and kind and wanted to take creative, inspired action to move forward in their life. But in order for this person who's in shadowy Aquarius energy to move forward with people like that, they'd have to be willing to do this work to get there. They'd have to learn to nurture themselves. They'd have to become creative, inspired, just, fair, balanced, committed, dedicated, hardworking, loving. They'd have to get themselves emotionally balanced. And they kind of decided to backstab all those aspects within themselves because someone had made them an offer that seemed to be that they could get everything they wanted to be successful without having to put in that work and effort. But for some reason, the person, well, let's go ask, what happened? Why isn't this person in a relationship with that person? Why is this person waiting? What happened to the relationship? Why is this, what happened to the relationship? Why are they waiting? Because somebody, it could be somebody could have taken action to repeat some patterns of the past. What were those patterns of the past? Oh, to be in pride and ego. So for some, for some of them, they could have gotten in a relationship with someone who promised them the world, kind of like our own shadow side. The devil on our shoulder promises us the world, that we can have everything we want. We don't have to be loving. We don't have to be kind. We don't have to think of other people. We can have all our dreams come true without being any of those things, without putting in the work and effort to rise above our inner conflict and competitive nature, our fear, insecurity. We don't have to do that. We can have our dreams come into reality, working with our fear and insecurity and our selfishness. They could have gotten in a relationship with someone who represented that energy because that person made them a financial type offer of, I have the resources for your dreams to come into reality in that manner. But the person they got into a relationship could have taken some creative action to repeat some patterns of the past operating from pride and ego. Maybe they kind of got into a relationship with someone who's kind of operating from the same type of foundation they are. And maybe the person they got in a relationship is quite toxic and they want things all their way. And for some reason, this King of Wands, male or female, maybe there's someone who wants everything their way. So those two are kind of in a butting heads in that way because, like, well, we both want to be the boss. We both want to operate out of our pride and ego. And maybe they're both sitting there waiting for the other one to talk to the other one. So they're both sitting there. Maybe the person they got in a relationship with moved away from them. Maybe they decided investing with this person wasn't something they wanted to do and they let it end, and they took that Eight of Wands action towards their own dreams. Maybe part of their dreams were, I don't want to have to put in work and effort. I turn my back on putting in work and effort. And maybe the Six of Cups can talk about reuniting with someone in their past or someone who reminds them of their past. There may be both Seven of Pentacles people, and neither one was really willing to put in work and effort. They both kind of maybe wanted it their way. Maybe they both thought that they could use sex and intimacy in the relationship. And maybe the person that was kind of represented that worldliness that they wanted went and got in a relationship with someone else. They used their sexuality to go get in a different relationship, to go get the things that they wanted, where they don't have to put in work and effort. That could be. And for the person who's sitting here waiting in the King of Wands, like I say, they could just be hoping that any of you positive people that had been in their life, they're hoping before you communicated maybe to them when you were working together with them emotionally that you wanted them to see things from a new perspective so that they can move forward with you in a positive way. Pisces energy hangman is about seeing yourself in life from a new perspective, having a new vision of how you see yourself in the world, because you're no longer clinging to that old foundation. In Pisces energy, you've tapped into your emotions, your creativity, your dreams. And you positive people had done that. And you communicated to them that, though you might have liked working with them emotionally, you wanted them to become enlightened so that they would believe their dreams could come into reality from working from an emotional foundation of putting in the hard work to free themselves from worldliness, to detach from that type of foundation and kind of go more with the flow of the universe of, moving forward, using your time, energy, and resources to rise above the competitive nature we can have in the world and our inner conflict, to learn the lessons we were meant to learn so that you could have worked together emotionally with this person. Maybe this person has a lot of stress and anxiety, and you wanted them to use some of their time and energy to work through their stress and anxiety that they have about, I don't know, looking victorious by worldly standards, and to take creative, inspired action to rise above all of that. Maybe this is a person that you were working with before that has a lot of stress about standing up for themselves. Maybe that's their toxic energy. I feel like if I move forward in a creative, inspired way, I think there's other people in my life who are gonna, I don't know, be mad or angry or would have conflict about that because they're stepping outside of the box, moving forward in a way that maybe people in their foundation that they come from don't do. And they would have to stand up for themselves and defend this relationship. And they had a lot of stress and anxiety about it. So they had decided to backstab and betray you. And they could be hoping that maybe as you were moving forward and you have fond memories of the past, that you'll feel stuck. And that then you'll decide to communicate to them that you want to see your dreams come into reality with them. And they'd say, perfect. Let's work together emotionally in the type of foundation that I operate from, which is all about the 3D world, or me being prideful, me being stubborn, me not having to stand up for myself, me not having to defend things. We don't take creative, inspired action forward. That'll be great. Let's just do things the way everyone has always done things. So I'd say that's where what Aquarius energy is at right now. It's just that some people are not putting in the work and effort to follow their dreams in hope and faith and belief and love. Some people have given up on their hopes and dreams. And right now, they're just waiting for other people to take action towards them. Because they're hoping maybe people that they might have ended things with before, because those people did want to learn and grow and change, and this person doesn't want to learn and grow and change. And they're hoping that the people who left their life before will become disillusioned, will feel stuck, and they're waiting for any of those people to come communicate with them, saying they're willing to work together with them now emotionally, and that this person can maybe stay, have that third emotional energy in the foundation. It won't be equal give and take. Their third energy they carry with them is that they're aligned with their worldly side, their shadow side, their pride, their ego, their fear, their control, their jealousy, their addictions, whatever the devil represents for them. And they're waiting for someone to reunite with them. So there we are, Aquarius. I have this quote calendar, and so I just randomly do a flip of it before I start the reading. And you got, don't feel guilty for doing what's best for you. So there you go, Aquarius. I wish you all peace, love, and joy, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.